What's going on, everybody? It's the Halfback here, and welcome to episode number 8 of my Rising Above Adversity AFC Bournemouth save, where today I'll be bringing you the final day of the championship season. This is the game that will decide whether we will be in the playoffs this season or whether we will have to settle for another season in the championship. You can see it's so tight up there going into this final game. We are currently level on points with Derby in 5th and Middlesbrough in 7th, sorry. But we know what we have to do today. We have to either match Middlesbrough's result or better their result in order to secure our place. Fulham and Blackburn in 3rd and 4th respectively are still not secured in the playoffs either. I mean, they're both on 75 points, and it would be mental for example, if Fulham, who are in 3rd going into this game, dropped out of the playoffs, would be crazy. But the championship's such a crazy league, you know, so unpredictable as football is as a whole. But Norwich and Watford already confirmed as going up. So if FM wants to be realistic, then surely we've got to go up, right? I mean, Watford and Norwich already promoted, so Bournemouth need to go up as well. But we need to do our job today. Let me show you actually the results since the last time I was with you guys. Of course, that was the game against Middlesbrough at home, the 2-1 defeat. How crucial will that result be at the end of today's play? If we look back on it, you know, we might look back and regret the defeat in that one. But we followed that one with a 5-2 home win against Huddersfield. Callum Wilson with 4 goals. Just an incredible striker. I believe that's his 3rd or 4th hat-trick of the season, which is just incredible. But Craig Davis also getting himself on the score sheet. Following that, we played Ipswich away, sorry. And this was such a frustrating result. If I show you the stats for the game, we dominated the game. There's no other way to say it. We absolutely battered Ipswich. Took the lead through Callum Wilson. But Darryl Murphy scoring in the 86th minute to equalise the game. A real smash and grab. But I don't know how many times I've said it now. It's been the case so many times this season where we've dominated teams, but we just haven't killed them off, and it's come back to bite us, and like it has done against Ipswich. But after that, we played Birmingham at home. Kind of scraped through the game against Birmingham. We wasn't at our best, far from it, and Craig Davis did manage to pop up with a goal. Good to see him, in fact, getting on the score sheet in the recent weeks. After a really difficult season he's had, he hasn't performed well at all since we've signed him from Bolton, but he popped up with a winner in that one, which was good to see. Brighton away was the next fixture on our schedule. Now, Brighton have actually been relegated from the Championship, so we went there confident that we could go and pick up a win. It just wasn't to be, and in fact Brighton were the much better of the two sides, and we kind of pulled a smash and grab ourselves in this one, with Mark Pugh equalising in the 89th minute. And then I was hoping in the next game against Reading that we could kind of pick up our performances, kick on, and really cement our place in the playoffs, but it just wasn't to be. We went away to Reading, and we just didn't perform on the day. We didn't perform against Brighton, but they didn't punish us. Reading did. Callum Wilson did score in the game, which was positive, but we lost the game 3-1. Thankfully, sorry though, we managed to bounce back in the last 2 games. Sheffield Wednesday beating them 2-1. Callum Wilson and Charlie Daniels, and then a 4-3 thriller against Bolton. Ryan Fraser with a double, Andrew Sermon and Craig Davis with the goal. So that's where we stand going into the final day against Charlton. I want to have a look at the other fixtures as well. There's so many fixtures that I've got to keep an eye on today, but let me pick the team and then we'll have a look at the fixtures, the other fixtures going around today. I'm going to be going with a 4-4-2 system for this game. I started off the season with it, changed to a 4-2-3-1, but honestly I haven't really stuck to either system this season. I've been chopping and changing, rotating the system pretty much all season, and we've been very fortunate that, you know, it hasn't caused any issues in terms of the players, you know, not being able to adapt to changing systems. They've really adapted well to it, which is brilliant to see. Just looking at Matt Ritchie's back from injury for this one, but as it's his first game back, you may remember he got injured in the Middlesbrough game, the last live com. He's literally just come back from injury, so I'm not going to put him straight into the first team. Not quite up to match fitness. So we've got Artur Buric in goal. We've got Simon Francis, Steve Cook, Tommy Elphick and Charlie Daniels in defence. Ryan Fraser, Harry Arter, Andrew Sermon and Mark Pugh in midfield. And then up front we've got Craig Davis and Callum Wilson. Couple of injuries, I think. No, Jacob Murphy's actually back as well. I forgot to. He's been out for like 2-3 months now, Jacob Murphy. So I'll bring him on the bench. Not fit to come back into the team. Really good player for us this season. Unfortunate that he picked up an injury, but I'll draft him onto the bench and hopefully he can bring him on if we are in a bit of trouble. But hopefully we won't be in any trouble, and we can kind of get over the line and seal our place in the players. Obviously, I said in the Manchester City episode that whatever happens from then until the end of the season, it will go down as a brilliant season, but we need to try and get over the line. It will be so disappointing if we couldn't. But just looking at the fixtures for the other teams, Blackburn have got Ipswich at home. Fully expect them to win that one. Ipswich mid-table, bottom half of the bottom half team. Where are they? Yeah, they're 19th. Derby have got Reading at home. Reading nothing to play for. They're in 16th, so you kind of expect Derby to win that. Middlesbrough at home to already relegated Brighton. And Fulham have got Norwich away. So on paper, Norwich have probably got the Fulham. Sorry, have probably got the most difficult game. But Norwich are already promoted, so they've got nothing riding on this game. They can relax, and maybe that will play into the hands of Fulham. So yeah, it's really tense times at the moment. We need to get our result. Of course, I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to the other results, but we need to do our job. If we do our job, you know, we will go up. It's in our hands, just about, as I said. But we'll tell the players that we owe Charlton revenge. Not quite sure what the result is in the reverse fixture of this one. Maybe they beat us. Hopefully our star men can perform in this one. The likes of Harry Arter, Callum Wilson, 33 goals in 46 appearances this season. I'll bring down the highlight speed, and I'll also leave the league table in the corner so you can see how events unfold on this final day of the championship. It really is going to be an incredible finish to the season, but maybe an early chance for us. Harry Arter on the ball. Can he find the pass? We've actually dropped out of the playoffs very early on. Middlesbrough have taken an early lead against Brighton, but we're on the attack. Callum Wilson, can he find a pass? He does. And Craig Davis hits the bar, but he is offside. And the pressure is already on us very early on as we've dropped out. Hopefully we do not concede here. Long throw comes in. It's well dealt with. But we've got to get it. It may come back in on Yewu on the ball. Wiggins finds the pass to Jackson. Jackson to Boyens. Can we get it clear? We can't. The ball's in. Vetikele's in. What a save. That was from Boric. It is offside, but what a save that was from Artur Boric. Early signs, and Middlesbrough have taken a 2-goal lead against Brighton. This is not looking too good early on. Of course, we have to match or better Middlesbrough result to secure our place. And Charlton are through. What with the shot, and Artur Boric saved us. Charlton having a really bright start to the game, but we're on the attack. Harry Arter into Callum Wilson, our star man. Defended well though. Can we get it back and create another attack? We kind of need to start. Obviously, we don't want to go all out attack. There's no need to go all out attack. You know, still a lot of football to be played. It can still all chop and change, but as it stands, we will be missing out on the playoffs, which would, I'll just be gutted if that happens. And Charlton on the attack, they've made a bright start to the game in the opening 20 minutes. Just not concede. Thankfully, the long range shot is not going to be causing too much problems for us. And we're straight back on the attack. Another highlight, but the ball regained in midfield and pumped forward by Cook. Davis is through. Davis straight at the keeper, but it's coming back. Callum Wilson's there. And Callum Wilson, you would expect him to be burying that. He's scored so many, you know, goals in the box this season. He's so deadly inside the box. Couldn't convert there, but we're back on the attack. Callum Wilson into Davis. Davis for a goal. Puts it wide. We're missing a lot of big chances early on, and we really can't afford to be missing these chances in this final day of the season. Middlesbrough moved themselves all the way up to 4th in the table, so they've started the day on fire. But we've got a break on here, so we've got the men pouring forward. Andrew Sermon with a really poor pass. Thankfully, sorry, we've regained the ball. Mark Pugh out wide. Can he find the ball? It's intercepted though. We need to start pushing forward. Fulham, I think, maybe have fallen behind. because they've dropped down to 6th. Harry Arter on the ball. Can he find the pass? He does. Davis is through. Davis makes it 1-0. Craig Davis with the goal. Where's that going to push us up to? Into 6th. Fulham, who again started in 3rd on the day, have now dropped off into 7th. If they miss out, it really would be incredible. But they've still got, you know, obviously still 45 minutes to play. We go into half time with a 1-0 lead. Craig Davis with the goal. I've mentioned that, you know, he's not had a great season for us, but he could make himself a bit of a hero if his goal is the one that could put us in the playoffs. Of course, we dropped out early on. Middlesbrough having a brilliant game against Brighton, but I think it's still 2-0 in that one, so if we can get another one and match their result, we'll go ahead of them. Callum Wilson's picked up a knock, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too serious. But I'm just keeping an eye on that league table if it changes at any stage. I look to make some changes in our game soon. Fulham have actually taken the lead now. 2-0 lead. 2 quick goals for Fulham. And we've dropped into 7th. I'm not going to make any changes. I think this team's doing alright as it is. But we need to score another one. We need to try and match Middlesbrough's result now that Fulham have gone 2-0 up. Or hope that Reading score against Derby. And it's really tense at the moment. Really tense. Half an hour to go. Ryan Fraser on the ball for us. Plays it in to try and plays it into Craig Davis, but it's intercepted. It comes again. Callum Wilson's got the pace to get him behind, surely, against Ben Haim. He doesn't, but he finds a pass out wide to Fraser. Whips it in. Callum Wilson. The ball's just a bit too far, and Callum Wilson can't quite stretch enough to get on the end of it. 20 minutes left to go. I'm tempted to go a bit more attacking in search of another goal, but I don't want to run the risk of Charlton scoring. Fulham have conceded 1, but that doesn't affect anything really from our point of view. We either need Brighton to score, or we need to score ourselves. Just under 10 minutes to go. Ryan Fraser gets in the tackle. Let's push forward now. Craig Davis, find a pass. Come on. He does. He plays it out wide. Well played out wide to Pugh. But he just runs straight at the fullback, and now Charlton could be on the attack. This is terrible. This is horrible. Oh, God. I don't think I've ever been in a situation like this before in terms of it being so tight, so many teams being involved in a promotion playoff spot going into the last day of the season. But the highlights still running, maybe a chance. Craig Davis, they're playing such a high line. With the likes of Callum Wilson, we really should be taking advantage of that. Craig Davis is in. But he fires it straight at the keeper, and at this point I've got to make some changes. I've got to push us forward now in search of another goal. It's risky. It's very risky. Very, very risky with Charlton. You know, if they just equalise, that's us pretty much done. But I've got to do it. I've got to take a risk for this one. And I'm going to tell the players to close down much more, much higher tempo, push higher up, and we're going to go with more direct passing. You can see the high line that Charlton are playing. If we can get some balls over the top, use Callum Wilson's pace to get him behind, we might be able to find a goal. But just a few minutes left now. The clock is ticking. And Derby have conceded against Reading. And that sees us move into the playoff spots. Hopefully it stays as it is with 1 game. I'm not sure how it's ended up at Reading, but that would be incredible. It looks like we've done it. I'm going to congratulate the players. So that means we must have done it. This confirmed that Reading have actually drawn with Derby. And that is it. They have. Derby have conceded a late goal. Wow, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting Derby to fall out. I was kind of, my mindset towards the end, last, was it 3 minutes in our game? And my mindset was heading towards another season in the Championship. But we've still got a chance to get into the Premier League. Derby have conceded in the 91st minute against Reading. What an incredible end to the regular season. Wow, Middlesbrough sneaking into the playoffs on the final day. Let's have a quick look at the final table. We finish up in 6th, so that means we'll play Fulham in the playoffs. Of course, Fulham beat us at home and we drew away, so that's going to be such a tough game. But heartbreak for Derby, jubilation for ourselves as we secure our spot in the playoffs on the final day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here for now, and I'll do a playoff special. I'll cover the 2 semi-finals, and if we get to the final, I'll cover the final all in one episode. You can see that today we have managed to secure ourselves in the playoffs, finishing on 77 points, level on points with Middlesbrough, 2 points ahead of Derby. But I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you guys again for your support. I know I say it at the end of every episode, but I really do appreciate it. You guys hitting the like button. If you did like this episode, please do hit the like button. If you feel like it, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this content. It's been the Halfback, and I'll join you guys for the playoff semi-finals.